Hey guys, I am so happy to finally be able to share what my husband and I have been working on pretty much this year. And this is going into November of 2020. Some of you have just found out that we are going to be foster parents, and we are working towards also adopting some children from the foster care system. A lot of you may not know that about 420 or so thousand children in the United States are currently in the foster care system. And many of them are in the system through no fault of their own. 1/3 of these children are children of color. Most of these children come into care at around age 8. And unfortunately, many of them end up aging out of the system because no one takes on the task of opening their home and becoming their parent. Of the 400,000 children that are in the foster care system, there's about 100,000 of them in our country that are currently, right now, waiting on someone to step up and say, hey, we'll take them in our home, we'll take them in our family, we'll love them, we'll take care of them, and we'll help them through the traumatic experiences that they've experienced being removed from their home and missing their families. Even more disheartening, sibling groups are often separated because there are no families that are willing to take all of them at the same time into the same home. And that's very unfortunate. And so what my husband and I have decided to do is become foster parents and eventually adopt children whose parents' parental rights have been terminated, and bring them into our home and raise them and love on them and give them what they deserve as children. And many of you are just now finding that out. So surprise. So yeah, we have definitely been busy this year. It has been a long, grueling, tedious year for us. And we did go MIA for a little bit. We had to. There was so much paperwork. I feel like I need a rubber stamp with my name on it to get through all of the paperwork and the binders of documents that we had to read, sign, initial. So I just wanted to give you a little bit of information about foster care so that you kind of have an understanding about what we're working with. So let's get into our why right after this.
Someday soon I'm gonna make it. Yeah, all hard work's gonna be worth it. Ooh, everyone who didn't believe it, they don't know a thing.
Hello everybody, my name is Michael, and we're going to talk about our why and tell our story. And for me, I guess growing up in the urban neighborhood, I saw where kids were without fathers, or kids were uninspired, different things like that. And I always had a desire to bring change to other people's lives. I always grew up around children, or children were always drawn to me. So I decided, I believe I was in my early 20s, where I decided that I wanted to try foster care and adoption. Being unable to have children of my own, I wanted to be able to raise a child to call my own. I wanted to make an impact in the lives, and being an African American male, I believe it's important to see strong Black men take responsibility in other children's lives. Being that male role model, that father figure in their lives, to give them direction, to help them to become all that they are able to be, help them to make their dreams come true, help to be make their dreams a reality. Being that person they can come and talk to, even in those difficult times, that they have somebody that they can come to and be in a safe space. So that's my why.
That's cool. And for me, my why is similar to his, only I'm not a black male. But I've always had a heart for children, and anybody that knows me knows that I've always had a heart for people who were just having difficulties in life, needed some place to go, or needed somewhere to live until they got back on their feet, or just needed that extra support. And we've both always been people that were always willing to just jump in and do what we could do to help people get through those hard times. So I think it just comes out of that heart for helping people, for one. And then two, like him, I've always been drawn to children. I've always been one to have conversations with kids and teenagers, to help them along. Just even in my profession, I talk to a lot of young people, and I hear, really hard stories. They're going through a lot in their lives, and I think they need somebody. Those kids coming into foster care, they're going to need somebody that understands what they're going through and know how to deal with the different traumas that they deal with. If you imagine being a child and being removed from the only home you've ever known, and being removed from the only parents that you know or family that you know, and placed into a stranger's home, that can be very traumatic. And I want to be a safe place for them to go and heal while they wait on the adults in their lives to get it together and fix whatever needs to be fixed. So that's just our heart. We just want to be there for the kids, to help add to the number of families in our state that are there for the children. For me, I think I've been thinking about this since I was a child. Anybody knows my mom, she always had kids in the house, always other people with kids in the house, always helping out. And so I've been thinking about adopting or being a foster parent as far back as I can remember. And so this year, we decided to go ahead and take the plunge in the midst of a pandemic. So, some things were moving pretty slow, but we got through it. So do you want to add anything?
Yeah, we just want to be the answer to a problem. Especially with the rate of how many kids are in foster care system who are dying or who need someone to love them, need someone to talk to. And so those that know me know my heart. I'm a people person. I love people. I love kids. And so I want to make sure that they have that space to where they can feel love, where they can feel joy, where they can feel peace, where they know somebody has their back throughout their lives. And so just want to love on them and give them the best version of me that I can.
Oh, that's sweet. The best version of me. Yeah, so we are in this for the long haul. We are in this with a pure heart, and to just, like you said, be a part of the solution to help out these kids. We always talk about or complain about the things that we see on TV and the things that we see with parents and children, and we complain and we talk about it and we think somebody should. Well, we want to be that somebody that's there, that's stepping up, that's opening up our home. Y'all, this is not easy to open your home to strangers. So our our foster care and adoption age, and the reason why we keep saying foster care to adoption, of course, there is foster care, but sometimes it is in the best interest of the child to not return home. Right. I would love nothing more than to have that child go back home in that safe environment with their family. But we know sometimes it's just not possible, right, and there's no one else that can step up for that child. Whether if the parents are incarcerated or, God forbid, they have passed away and there's no other family, we want to be able to step up. So in the state of Tennessee, our state, when you are licensed dually as both a foster parent and an adoptive parent. Right. So should something happen and you have a child in your home and you've had them for a certain number of months, and that child can't go back home, you will be the first person that they call to say, would you go ahead and adopt this child? And we want to be ready. We don't want to have to go take any more classes or sign any more papers of documents. We don't want to have to do anything else. So we're trying to, we got everything we could possibly get already, so that when things go down, we are ready to rock and roll with whatever happens. So that is kind of our story. Our age. We're doing 0 to 8.
0 to 8, yes.
0 to 8. 0 is probably pretty rare to get a baby, but we just want to make sure that we're open. And we're also specializing in sibling groups.
Yeah.
Because a lot of times the siblings are separated. Because there are not enough families that can take on 2 and 3 children at one time. So we're going to take the plunge. And if we get 3, then, we'll figure it out when it happens. But yeah, we wish that no child would ever be separated from their brother or sister. That's probably the hardest thing you could ever ask them to do, is to go it alone. So our home is open for several children, siblings, from 0 to 8. Our caseworker is trying to get us to do 12 and 13.
Which is fine, but in this season, I believe it's important to start with a younger age, with scheduling and work and different things like that, being able to adapt and adjust with them and raise them up from the age 0 to 8 up to adulthood. So it's an exciting yet nervous moment, season. But I feel that I'm ready to do it and get it done.
Yeah, I think one thing about this is that we already have an adult child who is be 22 in a couple of weeks. So we've raised a child before. We've raised other kids. We've helped be mom and dad to a lot of children that, some lived with us, some did not. So, I mean, it's not like we've never done this before. And then I'm used to working with trauma, and he's had some experience working with kids with trauma. So we have a little bit under our belt to where we can handle this. We are being licensed as a therapeutic home, meaning we understand the dynamics of, our birth children is going to be a little bit different than those children that come in because of their trauma story and things that they've been through. So we are ready, and all of you that subscribe are going to be our tribe.
Yes.
We cannot do this by ourselves. And I'm going to do another video on how, you can help us.
Yeah.
There are ways that you can help out, whether it's just being a babysitter or, an encouraging word, a pot of macaroni and cheese and some green beans or something on a crazy night. There are ways to help, but I'm going to do a video about that. So you guys are our tribe, and we want to hear from you. So comment in the comment section below and just tell us, what you think. Ask us questions if you want me to do a video on a certain thing. My goal for this video series is to answer questions about foster care and adoption for those who are thinking about it. I've got a lot of DMs and all of my social media about how can we get into this, or my husband and I are thinking about doing this. So I want to be a resource for other people. When I started this, because I'm such a nerd and because I'm such a research kind of person, I began to look for other families who were similar to us to see what they did and how they did it. So I didn't find very many at all. Right. So me and a few other ladies and families that I know, we're all doing these types of videos because we want to not just advocate for these children, but we also want to tell you how you can get into this. It's not expensive. It's not hard. It's just a lot.
Yes.
Would you say?
A lot of work. You got a lot of studying. It's a lot of self-reflection to make sure that you're able and capable of doing it, making sure you're ready emotionally, financially, and even spiritually to pour out, because that's really what you're doing. We're just really pouring all of the knowledge and wisdom and all the things that we have into some child or children, period.
Yeah, I think that's really important. So, like I said, I'm going to do more videos in this series to kind of give you more information about foster care and adoption. But this was just our intro so you guys could see who we are. Many of you have seen me, and some in our we actually have a foster care and adoption Facebook group that I commune with, and a lot of people have seen me, but they've never actually seen Michael. So I have to bring him in from time to time. He works. We have very different schedules where we're not always moving at the same time for now till the kids get here. Then we're gonna have to change it up. Yeah. So sometimes he's gone. I work from home, so I can kind of pause and make videos. So you will again see him from time to time. But again, I will do videos on that later. We want to introduce ourselves, tell you guys what we're doing, and give you a chance to ask questions down in the comments below, okay? All right.
All right.
We good?
Yes. Bye.